Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. Oh, I forgot my glasses. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. Welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. I am Jason. Speaking here in my bedroom in the great state of Kansas. And I got here Robert from NornRad89 and Mike from Did You See That?
Thanks for having us, Jason. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, thanks for coming on. Yeah, it's very cold outside. It snowed last weekend, and I've been sick with a cold for the last week. So I was feeling terrible, going to work, being super cold in the morning, and I stayed at the hotel for 2 nights just so I was close to work, so I didn't have to drive at 5:30 in the morning in the snow and
Yeah.
all that. So it's been a rough week for me. Kind of finally glad to get over this last week, and hopefully this next weekend will be better. And I'm feeling a little bit better today. So I hope you had a better week than me, Norn or
Yeah,
Robert.
it was not as much of a cold blast like you guys. Like I said, we got a little bit of snow, like probably like 2, 3 inches, and then like the very next day over here in New Mexico, it melted. But it's still been very cold, and kind of yeah, just been working back to the grind. January is kind of like getting back into the groove, tax time, just working, kind of the normal stuff after all the birthdays and the Christmases and New Year's and all that junk. So
Yeah, yeah. So it feels like it's been a while since I had to do any videos, just because I haven't felt well. So hopefully I can get back to doing some videos this next week.
oh yeah,
Lots been going on. I mean, we just had the Oscar nominations recently, last Thursday, so I haven't talked about that yet. I have to talk about that at some point.
no,
It's the awards. It's the award season. We've had the Critics' Choice Awards. We've had the Golden Globe Awards. We had the Oscar nominations last week. The BAFTA nominations came out, I think, this morning. I saw so, but it couldn't be complete without the Old Millennial Awards, uh, part of the award season, which I always I've been doing this as the third year that we've done this. Um, Kind of going through some different categories that they don't go through the other award ceremonies, and have a little fun. Just have a little
Well,
fun talking about last year in the movies and all that. Um, and I'm so happy, so glad that Robert and Mike decided to join me again for a third year in a row to talk about
absolutely.
this. Um, I feel like the three of us, we have enough of a different um, uh, what's the word? Different
I like our
mo-
opinions and variety because
opinions
like yeah, we
that
watch different stuff and all that, so we have a lot of
yes,
different picks. Yeah,
and different things that we like. That we'll have three different answers maybe on all the. I'll be interested if we agree at all. I feel like we won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll, but
yeah, it's
I
kind
wouldn't
of
be
more of a
surprised.
rarity if we hit one. Like I'm wondering if we're gonna hit at least one that we all match.
Probably
I
not.
know. I know Robert's gonna hit horror. Mike's gonna hit anime. You know, and I don't know. I'll hit some of the other major stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway, so uh, yeah. How's the weather over there, Mike? Is it cold?
It's cold, Jason. It is cold, man.
Yeah.
For you guys who don't know, in the UK, like 9 months out of the 12, it's freezing here
Yeah.
normally. Um, so yeah, it's cold. But all I'm gonna say is, for people who follows award ceremonies, none of the other ones matter. The Old Millennial Awards is where it's at. So
That's where it's at.
we are gonna start a party. I know Norman's on a time crunch as well.
A
So
little bit, yeah. Like I said, I got about like 2.5 hours, and then the kids get out from school. So
go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Have
thank you once again, James, for having me as well. By the way,
yeah,
yes. Well, yeah. I'm so pleased you're on here. Yeah, we have 12. We have 12 categories to go through on here. Hopefully, yeah. And we'll see how we rate all these. So the first category is most underrated movie of the year last year. Basically, a movie that you feel like didn't get enough praise, didn't get enough award recognition, didn't get enough
yeah.
good reviews, didn't do as well at the box office, that kind of thing. So I guess we'll start with you, Robert, and go to Mike and
Mine
then
first.
myself.
Sure. So my pick, I'm gonna go with Queens of the Dead, which is a Shudder film. This is a film that you could watch on Shudder, and it's directed by Tina Romero, who's actually the daughter of George A. Romero. So it's a lot of fun that his daughter is getting into the director chair now. And this is a zombie subgenre film, but it also leans very heavy into comedy as well. So I thought this is one that just not a lot of people were talking about. I really only saw one other YouTuber that kind of brought it up, and I was like, well, what's this? And kind of trying to wrap up the year and watch some more movies. This was one of the ones that I snuck in there, and I was very surprised and happy with how it came out, Queens of the Dead. So, like I said, it's a zombie subgenre film, horror. There's gruesome moments in it, but it definitely leans more into the comedy realm.
I was gonna say I we'll definitely hit on some movies I never heard of, and we start off right away with a movie I never heard of. I know you guys you watch these movies that I don't know even exists out there. Queens of the Dead, never heard of it. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely underrated. I mean, I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it, to be honest. So you definitely hit
yeah.
the
Besides
underrated
me,
part of
like
it.
literally, I think I only saw one other YouTuber bring this up, and it was as an honorable mention. I think for their top 10 horror of the year is one of their honorable mentions. I think.
Okay, yeah. That's a good one. All right, Mike, how about you?
Yeah, so I just want to say, Lauren, I heard I think Anthony Perez talk about it. So
Nice.
you're the second person anyway. I do want to watch it at some point. Yeah, so for my pick, it's a one that I feel that people hated on more than it deserved. And that is Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, hey, yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Now it's not the most underrated. I'll be honest, it's hard to put it under that category, but I feel like it's one that got more hate because
It
two
did.
reasons.
Yeah.
Two reasons. Number one, when was the last time we had a Karate Kid movie in cinemas? Apart from we don't talk about the Jaden Smith one, right? That's erased from existence now.
That's the last one, yeah.
Right. But so that's number one. Number two, it was like a 90-minute runtime. It breezed by, even if it went a bit off the rails with like the boxing kind of side storyline. Like
Yeah.
it still flew over. I wasn't bored by it. I was entertained. I had, a really good time in the cinema. And I think people just read into it too much to be like, oh, we've had this amazing Cobra Kai, right? And it's going to be, that's one of the best TV series I think going to get of all time, following on from a movie franchise. But I feel like this one is just the one that, was its own thing, kind of tried to mesh the two together to an extent and left people with an exciting post-credit scene. So yeah, Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, I think you championed that movie more than anybody else I've heard. Even I was disappointed with the movie, but I still gave it 3 stars, so I still liked it
Yeah.
and gave it a positive review. And I'm trying to think, somebody else gave it a really bad review. It might have been like Rashad G or something like that, I want to say, or gave it like a real bad review and hated it. And I'm like, well, I feel like Mike's on this spectrum, or whoever it was on this spectrum, I'm in the middle. I'm like, but so that's a good pick. Definitely was, I think, not liked or reviewed very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. My pick, I went with How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake of
Nice.
a classic animated movie, one of my favorite animation movies of all time. And I think the problem is there's a lot of bad connotation when it comes to live action remakes. People don't like they just don't like the idea of making live action remakes of anime movies. It seems to be this. And you might say it's a cash grab, and it probably is a cash grab, but it's still a good movie, I guess. If you do it well, I can still enjoy the live action and the animated separately. There have been some horrible live action remakes, especially Disney. Disney makes the worst live action remakes. They're just not good at it. This is a good example of how to do a live action remake, where it is somewhat shot for shot, almost of the animated. There's definitely a lot of, but because the shots are so good, yeah, keep the shot. It's a good shot. Like I kind of like that because and he had the same. Might be the same director. I know you had the same musical score. I love the musical score. One of my top 10 favorite musical scores, the John Powell score there. I love Gerard Butler playing the same role as he did in the animated version. I thought
Yeah,
he
that
was
was
so
cool.
good. Yeah, I love that. I thought he was great. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where people I think hate it just because it's a live action remake, and I'm like, give this a chance. It's still really good. It's such a good story. It still works. In fact, I think Mike he did. I think he ranked his movies or something like that, and he put this at number 70 on his list. And I'm like, 70, Mike, 70. This is so good. How did you put it at 70? I couldn't believe it. So that just shows you how underrated it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to hear a different opinion, Jason. I think the thing is, a lot of people really liked it, and that's great. Like, I'm not here to take that away from anyone. And I think it's, as you said, like shot for shot, it was literally that of
Yeah.
the original. And for me, I don't mind that, but I like to have something a bit different added to this. Or like for me, like I think the Jungle Book is fantastic, the Disney one. I
Mhm.
think Cruella is great because it's Cruella, but it's sort of a different story. Like it's a bit of imagination there, I guess.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
but if you want a shot for shot remake and one that's done mostly well, then How to Train Your Dragon, yeah, I'd probably agree. But it's just for me, I'd like something a bit different. That's all.
Yeah, sure. Have my sister here. Hi, Abby.
Hey,
And I got Ryan from Real Talks with Ryan.
what's up, Brian?
Legend.
Says, hey fellas, listening while I work, what shocking award will you give to a movie on Wednesday? Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
It might be shocking. I don't know. All right. Next category is most disappointing movie. So a movie you're really hyped up for. You're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so great. I'm so excited to see this movie. Then you go watch it and you go, wow, this was not good. Like they totally missed. So that's the kind of movie we're looking for here. So what do you think, Robert?
All right. So for my disappointing movie, I went with Lee Winnell's Wolfman, and this one was a movie that
Wolfman. Yeah.
I didn't hate this movie. Like a lot of people completely bash this movie. I would probably say this is like a 2.5 star, 3 star film for me. It's like middle of the road, but for what Lee Winnell has brought us previously and how good he is at writing, I really wanted this to be like one of the next up and coming like greatest wolf movies that we've had in our decade, you know what I mean, of the 2020s, and it's not gonna be known as that at all. It definitely has a different take on the Wolfman, and there's some cool creative acting in it. I didn't mind the actors or anything like that, and some really good shots too. It's just compared to like how Jason was saying, my anticipation where I wanted this film to be at the end of the year, it was nowhere near that.
Yeah, that movie came out early in the year, I think, too, didn't it?
Yeah, it was it was like January or February. It was pretty early in the year.
I
Yeah.
felt like it was very early, and it felt like, yeah, I got bad reviews, and it was like, oh man, like it was not what people were expecting
No.
out of that. Yeah. What do you think about Mike?
Yeah, I agree. Like with Noran, yeah, that Wolfman wasn't great.
Yeah.
My pick is it's disappointing because I wasn't hyped for the movie, but I was intrigued where they were going to go, and that is Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, no.
that was so bad. That movie.
Yeah, yeah. Now, for me, I'd never seen the original growing up or anything like that. I only think I watched it maybe a week or maybe a month, if that, before the new one. And I was like, I really enjoyed that first one. So I was like, a sequel after all these years. Now, don't get me wrong, I knew it was Netflix. I was like, we're probably going to be in for a stinker, but try to remain optimistic. And it's just a cameo fest and some
Oh,
like
big time.
the big decision they make with Happy's wife. I was like
Yeah.
why?
I hated that so much. That ruined the movie right
Yeah.
away.
Yep. And then they had Carl Weathers Jr.'s like son character in there as well. I'm just like, leave the guy to rest in peace, like he was great for what he was in the first movie. Leave him as it is, leave him that honor that legacy and just don't acknowledge it. But then they get like so many celebrity cameos, but not in a good way, just thrown in to be like, we've got these people on set, let's just put them in the movie. Yeah, terrible movie.
I didn't laugh one bit at that. I mean, I didn't laugh at all. It was one of the worst comedies I've ever watched. It was Eminem shows up, gets killed, and nobody talks about it for the rest of the movie. You're like, wait a minute, the guy just got murdered on a Isn't that a big deal? I don't know. And yeah, all the callbacks didn't work. And just Adam Sandler, I just hate when he does these. He's like almost 60 years old. I'm like, you gotta do more mature. You gotta do more adult roles. You're still trying to play this like immature
Yeah.
teenager role. It doesn't work anymore for him. Uh, anyways, yeah, man, that was so bad. Happy Gilmore too. Gosh. Oh, I was gonna say, I did like Becky Lynch showed up in the movie. I was like,
Yeah,
hey,
Becky
Becky. I
Becky
was like,
Lynch was
Becky
in there.
Lynch.
MJF
I was
was in
like,
there too.
MGF was in there too. Yeah. I was like, that was cool. I like that. I was like, more Becky Lynch, I say, but yeah. All right. You guys could probably guess my most disappointing movie because it was the movie I was most excited for last year. Um, and it is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This was my number one most hyped up movie.
Yeah.
This when I did like my top 10 um, most anticipated movies of the year. This was number one by far. I love the Mission Impossible series. Um, Man, this is the worst of the Mission Impossible movies. This so far missed the mark. And a lot of that's because it was so freaking long and there was hardly any action in it except for the last scene. The last scene was good. That was like the only good scene in the whole movie was when he's fighting the villain on two biplanes, or he's on a biplane and he's like crawling around on this biplane. And because it's Tom Cruise, he really did it. And I love that. He's really doing the stunts. He's putting his life on the line. That's really cool. And it's a cool stunt. Him hanging off the plane trying to get to this bad guy. Besides that, it is so boring. This movie is so boring. And there's just so much exposition. It was just like one exposition scene after exposition scene. It's like, hey, we got to get to this place to do this thing. And then they get to that place. Oh, now we got to do this place to get this thing. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, let's just do something. It's just talk, talk, talk. And underwater scenes are not good. Underwater scenes are boring. And there's this big underwater scene where he's trying to get to the submarine. And I'm sorry, underwater scenes just don't work very often. It's not exciting. Yeah, it was just, I couldn't believe how disappointed I was with this movie. And I sat through it going, man, this is so not I hate that it's like the last movie probably in the series
Yeah.
and just a terrible way to end this series. Like to me, they should have stopped at the sixth movie. What was it called? Uh,
Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah.
They should have stopped. That would have been perfect. If they stopped at Fallout. That's a perfect ending to the series. I didn't need this AI villain. I didn't care for this AI villain for two movies in a row. It didn't work at all. I can't believe how badly. And I don't know if it's just because Tom Cruise has a massive ego and he kind of wanted to do all this stuff and he didn't think about making a good story and an interesting, exciting movie and he let it all go to his head. I don't know. Something happened there, but very disappointed with that movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Oops. Man, I did something wrong. Just a minute. Okay. My sister says Wicked for Good was a disappointing for me. Still good. I'm not a fan of the Wicked musical, either movie. I expected more out of them, but I wasn't like real hyped up for them. So I wasn't disappointed. The first movie I was a little disappointed with because I expected more out of it because I kept hearing how great this musical was, and I'd never heard the musical actually or seen it on stage or anything. But it's like one of those musicals everybody talks about nonstop. And then I finally saw the movies and I was like, what's the big deal? The music is fine. The story I don't care for at all. I don't know. It was a miss for me as well.
Yeah, I
And
wasn't a fan of that one.
it got zero Oscar nominations. Zero. It got totally snubbed. So
Yeah.
The Oscars didn't even care about it this year.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
Let's see. Got Ryan here. I would say Elio or Smashing Machine would be
Hmm.
most disappointing. Um, I've seen Elio. Yeah, it wasn't great compared to all the great other like Pixar films. It's definitely down there. It wasn't the worst. It had some good moments, but I wasn't super crazy about Elio. But I wasn't super excited about it either. I haven't seen the Smashing Machine, but it's on HBO Max, so I can watch it now on HBO Max. So I'll watch that at some point. I don't know if you guys have seen either film.
I haven't yet. No, I haven't. I know what Smashing Machine is, but I haven't seen it yet.
I've seen Elio. I haven't seen Smashing Machine like you guys. I do want to watch it though. Elio was
Okay.
okay. You know, it wasn't one of the best like Pixar or anything like that. But I didn't go in thinking it was going to be, you know, a
Yeah.
rejuvenation of Pixar. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Sin.
Hey,
Hey,
Sin.
then what's up?
Says agree they should have stopped at the one with Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Fallout.
last
Yeah.
two weren't great. The second one is still the absolute worst for me. The second one's bad too. That's for sure.
Yeah, Mission. Yeah, second was pretty bad.
Heard they wrote the story around the stunts. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise and the director, they they come up with the stunts. They say, "Hey, Tom Cruise says I want to, I want to learn to drive a helicopter or whatever, fly a helicopter." And then he goes and he trains to fly a helicopter and he does it. Whatever he wanted to do, he was like, "Yeah, I'll go train to do this thing and we'll do this." That's the stunts are definitely the big thing now about Mission Impossible, which is what's fun about them. I love the stunts, but they're fun action movies with a lot of spy stuff. I love it. It's kind of like James Bond. I love the spy, the technology they use to do stuff is fun. And yeah.
I,
Um,
I, I think with that Mission Impossible, just to add on what you were saying, Jason, like I agree with you, but I think if you take the two final parts together, you've got nearly 6 hours of Mission Impossible for two movies. Now, those movies have
yes.
never been rich in lore, rich in depth of storytelling. The characters have never been, so richly written. Sorry, that you like, some of cinematics, famous characters in history of cinema. Mission Impossible's not that. So for them to
Yeah.
expand two movies in 6 hours about I was just like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
No, it was a
Yeah.
it was a
Baffling,
mistake.
baffling decision.
Yeah, I agree totally. All right, now going to what he thought was the worst performance of the year. What performance, male, female, whatever you want to say, who you thought did the worst job? And I know, Robert, you had a hard time with this, so do you have a pick for this
Oh,
one?
okay.
Yeah, this one was like the hard one for me because I think it's just because I kind of purposely stayed away from a lot of films I knew were going to be bad, and I
Okay.
watched more that I just knew were going to be good. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
well, you're the
even my
opposite of
worst
Mike. Mike
movie,
watches the worst movies of the year. I mean,
Oh, I seek them out, Jason.
he's
And and this year will be
exactly.
no different. But not to interrupt Robert. Go on.
yeah, because even I heard about Ice Cube's performance, but I haven't seen War of the Worlds yet. I haven't seen
Me,
that,
me
but I
either.
heard his performance was pretty bad.
I heard it's pretty bad.
So I don't know. For here, I didn't even know what to go with, man. Like the only character I could think of that kind of bothered me was this movie called 825 Forest Road, and it's told in chapters. And then there's a male character in there, the husband, and I just thought his whole chapter was boring and annoying as hell. But I don't even remember the actor's name because this was another one that I think I watched in
Okay.
February.
It was early in the year, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Shutter release that happened early in the year. Yeah, like around January or February, and it's told in chapters. But the dude's chapter was by far the worst.
What's it called?
825 Forest Road. It's done by the
825
same.
Force Road.
Yeah, it's
What the
done
heck
by
is
the
that?
same guy who did Hell House LLC. I think it's the same director.
Okay, I'm writing down I'm writing down everybody, so I'm like guy from A25 Force Road. I guess is the answer.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically just yeah. I'd have to look up his character name. I can't remember it off the top of my head. That's how bad he was. He was unforgettable.
Yeah, right. Man, I can give you a list of bad performances, but maybe you haven't seen the movies. That's the only problem. uh, all right, Mike, do you have a good bad performance?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, Noran, once I tell you my pick, that guy from 825 Forest Road's going to seem as if he's DiCaprio of Shudder. You
He's
know?
at the DiCaprio.
So my pick is one Noran just mentioned before, and that is Ice Cube in War of the Worlds. Guys, so imagine this, right? I know you've not seen the movie, but imagine this, right? It's in COVID, it's in lockdown.
Yeah,
His acting is like this, right? He's in front of a screen,
yeah,
and he's probably shooting, from a script, right? Like, or someone behind the camera's like, right, so this scene, this is happening. You're seeing on the screen, right? So it might be like an Amazon delivery is showing up because they plug Amazon like hell in this movie. Bro, Prime delivery is out in force in War of the Worlds. And his reaction's like, so the delivery gets drawn, he's like, huh? Like that, right? And like all of his shocked expressions, he's like this because he's got glasses. He's like he reacts like that when Amazon's dropping off a parcel, and I'm just like, oh come on, And now it's tough to say because I appreciate at the same time he was just reacting to what he's being told to react to, and it can be quite hard because all these computer edit kind of movies, you're not going to see what's on the screen, right?
Right.
But when you've got the likes of like Searching with John Cho, who does a great job in that movie, you got Missing with I think it maybe Haley Berry, the girl from
Yeah, I think that was it.
The Little Mermaid. Like even she does a good job in that movie. But then you got Ice Cube, the guy who's done action movies, who isn't a great actor to start with.
No, he's a rapper.
I really want you guys to watch that movie and see for yourself. You'll see what I mean.
Yeah, when I want a good laugh, I think when I have a lot of free time and I want a good laugh, I'm gonna put the movie on just to see how it came out.
I couldn't believe I remember when they were talking about that movie when it came out. I thought it was a joke. I was like, "This is not a real movie, is it?" And I found out like this is a real movie. Like it is baffling, like how just the reviews and this. I mean, I've seen a lot of clips from the movie, and it's baffling how bad it is. I'm like, it would probably be on my list if I watched it, but I saw some of your reviews. I was like, I didn't feel like I need to watch it. I've seen enough of it. I was like, why do I need to watch this movie? I could tell it's so bad. Like, and maybe if I wanted to, yeah. I mean, like my top 10 worst list, like it probably wasn't as bad just because I missed out on the movie like that, but um, I didn't want to always watch a bad movie like Mike does. I like try to watch good movies, but sometimes the bad ones slip in there. Except for one movie, my worst movie. I did see that because I knew it was going to be my worst, and I watched it just so I could put it on my worst list. To be honest, but anyway, so yeah, War of the Worlds. That's baffling how they came up with that idea. It reminds me of like Mike did a movie where he kind of just was in one place where he he's just he's just sitting in a chair like what he is doing now and just he doesn't have to go anywhere. He just sits there and says the lines. So it's like Mike could have done this movie. You could have paid Mike less money probably to play the Ice Cube character, and
it's true, Jason. It's true.
Facts.
Facts. Got a bunch of let's see. Sin says Mike is such a glutton for punishment. I know. Meanwhile, he hadn't seen some of the best. I know he hadn't seen some of the best around.
It's true. True. The watch list continues to grow.
See, indie film called House of Eden. It's a bunch of content creators that got lucky that Shudder picked it up. Nothing happens in the movie for at least 70 minutes.
Wow.
So
I've never seen that one.
really,
Yeah.
oh, there you go.
Mm.
There's one for you to look up.
I'm good, thanks, Jason.
A good second place is Margaret Qualley and Honey Don't. Oh, same director that did Driveway Dolls. I don't remember that. Honey Don't.
It was her and Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. Oh, I remember. Okay, I kind of remember Aubrey Plaza being in a movie.
I
Now
think
you
it's
said
that
that.
Ethan Cohen. I think it's his movie anyway. Driveway Dolls was terrible, so I didn't bother.
Okay.
Bro, don't do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley coming up of Substance she was kind of on a high right now because of her performance in Substance.
Yeah.
And she had a cameo in Happy Gilmore 2, by the way. Margaret Qualley.
Yeah, she was one of those golfers when he was trying
Yeah,
to train again.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. I was like, is
There's
that
some funny
Margaret?
cameos. That's where they got me. They got me with the cameos where I'm like, why the fuck is this person even here? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I was watching. I'm like, is that Margaret Qualley? Like, what the heck?
Yep.
Yeah. So glad she didn't watch World of Worlds. Yeah.
Well, I think with this talk tonight, we're gonna have to do a watch party of War of the Worlds.
Maybe that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
If we can make fun of it as we're watching it, I'll be for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Peacock. If you want to torture yourself, Donnie Don't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Ugly Stepsister did it much better than Substance.
It's a good
Oh,
movie.
Interesting.
that's great.
The Ugly Stepsister got nominated for like best makeup, I think.
Yeah, it's a really good foreign film. Really good one.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. That came out of nowhere. All right, best male performance of the year for you, Robert.
Well,
Best-
Jason, so to interrupt, did you do your worst performance?
Yeah, I think you.
Oh,
did
I
yours.
forgot to do my.
Yeah, you forgot to do yours. Yeah.
I forgot to do my worst performance. Yeah, all these comments came on, so I'm like, oh, I better get to the comments. I don't want to get behind. Oh, sorry. Yes, worst performance. Mine was Mark Ruffalo and Mickey 17. I thought he was so bad in that movie, and it was one of my least favorite movies too. It was I could say it was my second least favorite movie of the year. I think if I remember right. Yeah, I really hated Mickey 17, and all the performances were bad. Robert Pattinson I thought was terrible. Mark Ruffalo though he was trying to play a character and it just didn't work. He was trying to play this millionaire character that I feel like he's kind of like being like Elon Musk or something, and he was just his facial expressions were just terrible. Like he was trying to do something but it didn't work. It just came off cringy, and even his voice, he did like a different voice for the character. And Ruffalo is a good actor, but it was like uh it wasn't realistic. It was just playing this cartoonish character. I guess that's the best way to say it. It just felt like he was playing this cartoonish character and it just didn't work. And maybe it's just that whole movie just didn't work for me. And he was the worst of that. But yeah, that's why I went with Mark Ruffalo. But you could go with Gal Gadot or Rachel Zegler from Snow White was terrible. There's a lot of terrible performances out there I could have gone with, but I ended up with Mark Ruffalo. All right, sorry. Now we can go best male performance.
Now on to some more positive stuff.
Yeah, I try to get negative out of the way. Let's go for some positive.
All right. Yeah, so for my best male performance that I thought this year, I picked Oscar Isaac and Victor Frankenstein. I kind of did this one because they did pick Jacob Elordi for the monster. They picked him for best supporting male performance
Yes.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
best sporting. Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought Oscar was the best part of the movie. Like
Okay.
I didn't think the movie hit on every level I wanted it to, but for me, the best part of the movie was Oscar Isaac. His story, his portrayal of Victor, he fully went for it. And I thought he was, like I said, the most captivating thing about the film. I mean, the sets are really good too. Guillermo del Toro
yeah.
really knows what he's doing with that kind of stuff. But I think Oscar Isaac just flat out was the best actor in that entire film. And I think, yeah, for me, my favorite performance of the males this year. Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't seen Frankenstein, so I can't say much about it, but
I mean,
It's
I'm
long.
hearing
It's
good.
kind of long.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things about it. That's a good movie, but it got a lot of Oscar nominations for sure, including Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you, Mike.
Yeah. So I haven't seen Frankenstein either, so I can't comment, but I do want to watch it though. So yeah, best male performance is a one I don't think you guys have gonna heard of, to be honest.
Of
So it's a
course,
movie that was released in 2025, but in England we just got it in 2026, like a week or so ago. And this is an actor called Mortaz Malhez. Um,
Mortags.
and Mortaz, so Motaz, surname Malhez. I have written it down. So it was Malhees.
Okay.
All right.
It was in another movie. I can't remember the movie though. I'd have to look at the filmography. But I think it's a movie that we've seen. But it's in the movie called The Voice of Hind Rajab.
I thought that's what you're going for. Yeah.
Yeah. So just give everyone a quick kind of story of this one because you may have not heard of it. So it's based on a true story of 2024 in January of the Israeli war. So there is some politics in there, but I took that aside and I just watched the movie for what it was. And basically the plot is about this 5-year-old girl who is stuck in a car in the middle of this Israeli war, and she makes a call to a volunteering service, called the Red Crescent. Basically needing help, right? Like a way of getting out of there and someone to rescue her. That's initiated by her uncle because he can't get there because there's a war going on. And this guy, this actor, so he plays a character called Omar who takes the call from this girl, and they use the real recording of the actual 5-year-old girl who was stuck in his car. And man, his performance was so good. The way that he's able to handle like these calls on a headset, like in a call center environment, like the emotion, the way that he screams at his boss to be like, "Hey, look, we need to do something. This girl's like 8 minutes from our location, but we have a process in place that takes us like 90 minutes to get to her. Instead of just being a straight line to get to it, they have to go like around like a figure eight shape to get to this destination." But just the emotion he was able to display, I was like, wow, like what a powerful performance that even me, I was like, yeah, someone listen to this guy. He's got reason, right? So yeah, I think it's like a very raw performance, one that I think is going to go massively under the radar. And I think one that people's not going to really hear of, to be honest.
I think maybe he got an Oscar nomination for.
I think the movie might have got one for like best international feature,
I
Okay.
think it might have, if I remember right.
but I
So
don't think he got an acting one though, which I think is a
no,
huge.
no, it was not. Yeah, it was not talked about as much as some of the other international films,
Nah.
like The Secret Agent, obviously, and Sentimental Value, and
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
couple of those that have been talked about more. But yeah,
yeah.
in
Great.
fact, I think I first heard about the movie through Mike, his review,
Okay.
and then I saw it at the Oscars, so I was like, okay, that's the movie Mike's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going with Michael B. Jordan in Sinners for Best Actor, who did get an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, his first nomination, which I'm so happy for. I would have given him the Oscar for Creed because I thought he was so good in Creed, and I'm a big fan of Creed, and I'm a big fan of Michael B. Jordan. Like anytime he's in a movie, I'm like he's really good. I think he's one of the best actors working today. So really happy. I don't think he's going to win, but I think he is very deserving to get an Oscar nomination. And Sinners, he plays twin brothers, Smoke and Stack. So it's kind of cool seeing him play against himself in roles and different. The two roles go different paths in the movie as well. Anyway, so yeah, I'm all on Michael B. Jordan anytime he's in a movie, and so it's so cool. Sinners is getting so much recognition. I think it was a movie that most everybody agreed on was one of the best movies of last year. So, uh, yeah, hope he gets more. Hope he gets an Oscar someday. To be honest, it'd be really cool to see. Um,
Definitely.
all right, I'm gonna try to find all these all these comments now. Uh,
No, awesome. That's great to hear everyone watching as well. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
yeah, I'm very happy with all these comments. It's actually quite sad. Great effects, though. So disturbing. Ugly stepsister.
Yeah, that's one of those
Yeah.
films that, yeah, like it does leave a mark. It's like, it's cool because it's not a lot of dialogue. It's more just emote acting. So you see a lot of it through the faces and the reactions of people.
Yeah.
Ruffalo was trying to portray Trump. Yeah, he hates Trump, so that makes sense. And Mark Ruffalo was the villain of the movie, so that would make sense. He didn't get the memo that this character wasn't supposed to be Trump. He was terrible in that film. I'm glad you agree. I thought he was so bad in the. My sister says she liked Joel Edgerton in Train Dreams, which I haven't seen yet. It was a character you can root for.
Nice.
That was another movie that got nominated for best movie. So I need to
Yeah,
watch.
I
I
heard
need
that.
to
I heard
watch
that
it.
one was pretty good. Like a really gorgeous looking film too, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
See, I thought Mike might go for Timothy Chalamet because he really liked Marty Supreme. But Ryan here is talking about Marty Chalamet's performance. He got me back on board after suffering through stores and all.
See, I would have gone for like Timothy for best male. Like like kind of the big mainstream movies. But like the person I picked was like not a mainstream movie and the one where I think
Yeah.
everyone knows Timothy Chalamet, everyone knows Michael B. Jordan. Not to say that they're not great because they are, right? But like everyone knows them, so that was kind of my reason for the pick.
Yeah.
But you say Timothy Chalamet is pretty good though, right?
In Marty Supreme, yeah, he changed my mind because before that movie I was like, yeah, this guy's terrible.
Yeah, I need to go see that movie because I've been hearing a lot of good things about Marty Supreme. And I love Timothy Chalamet in Complete Unknown. I thought he was so good. He was my pick last year for best performance. So it's crazy that he's putting two really good performances 2 years in a row. And he's 30 years old. I mean, he's just one of the best young actors we have.
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton is a great actor. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Got a screener for that movie, Mike, and talking about now. But never watched it. Probably talking about the voice of Hijab.
Yeah, I'm honestly curious if anyone else has seen it and what they think.
Yeah, has Anthony Perez. I don't think I've heard him talk about it. He's usually a guy that would maybe see something like that, but
yeah,
seems like him. He watches everything, so I always get stuff. I always hear about movies first from Anthony Perez. 'Cause I'm like, I never heard this movie, and Perez will review it. All right, so let's go to best female performance.
So yeah, best female performance for me was definitely Sally Hawkins as Laura in Bring Her Back. So Bring Her Back, where for me was definitely the most potent, one of the most potent movies I watched last year. And Sally Hawkins gives this performance that is just so creepy, but you could also kind of sympathize with her by the time you get to the end of the movie. But it's just still very scary and creepy the way she portrays it, which is crazy because it's just, she's just this kind of thin, frail looking kind of woman. You know what I mean? Not to say she's weak or anything. It's just she doesn't come across as threatening, but what she says in the movie and just the things that she does, it's pretty dark. And yeah, Bring Her Back. It's definitely not a fun watch. It's definitely a movie that goes down some dark roads. But I think for being Sally Hawkins's first horror performance too, she's not an actress that normally does movies like this. I think she did a fantastic job, and I would love to see her in more thriller and horror because she definitely had me captivated, and for me was the most interesting out of the female performances this year.
I like Sally Hawkins. She's a good actress.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh man, she's in this movie too. I was like, what's up? And just getting synced into it. And then by the end, I'm like, I felt emotional for her character. Like I wasn't crying, but I just felt it in my heart. I was like, damn, like it actually like hurt to watch her character go through some of the stuff. And then, but even though she's such a bad character in the movie, it still hurts emotionally knowing where she's coming from as a parent.
Yeah, since Sally was great and Bring Her Back.
Yeah,
she was really.
I might have heard the movie. I don't remember if I've heard that one. It sounds kind of familiar, but don't remember any.
It's a body horror film, mainly body horror, but it's done by the same directors who did Talk to Me. This is their sophomore film, so this is their second feature film, and I think it's even better than Talk to Me. So I'm hoping this is just going to be a trend for these directors that every film they do, they're going to get a little bit better.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Mike, your favorite female performance?
Yeah, bit of a tough one to decide, to be honest, because I think like Sally Hawkins was great. I think Amy Madigan in Weapons was great as well. I know she's been getting Oscar buzz. I think she was great as well as Gladys. But I kind of went a little bit outside the box because this actress, what was the name of the movie with Hugh Grant, the A24 movie from 2 years ago? Heretic, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
So this actress I picked was Sophie Thatcher in Companion.
Oh, sweet.
Companion. Okay.
Yeah, although I was a bit disappointed with the movie, but that was my own personal hype.
Oh, okay.
But I thought she was really good in Companion. I don't want to say the twist because Jason, I feel like it's a one you could watch because it's not so much gruesome horror as such.
It's on HBO Max, so.
Yeah, so I don't want to say too much because you've not seen it. So, and again,
it's worth it. I can attest to what Mike's saying. It's worth the watch for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like crazy horror, Jason. It's more like I can't say for spoilers. So,
well, I think she's like a robot or something. I want to say, but
I'm saying nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's all I think I know about it.
but either way, she's really good in the movie. She's able to convey like emotions, of like different calibers, a bit like Sally Hawkins does, kind of like an innocent character, but then they, kind of have to flip a switch, I guess, at some point. And I just think it's a performance where she doesn't really it's not being talked about a lot. She did a great job in Heretic as well a few years ago, so I think it's a young actress upcoming in horror that is just showing that she can be, kind of like a final girl or maybe like a scream queen in the future and stuff like that. So that's my pick anyway.
Nice. Solid pick. Nice.
All right. All right. Mine's, it's going to be different, and I don't think anybody's going to agree with me. But I'm going with Dakota Johnson in The Materialist.
Okay.
And this is such a great redemption for Dakota Johnson because she was my pick for worst performance last year for Madam Web. Madam Web was my least favorite movie of last year, and it was such a terrible movie. And Dakota Johnson's the lead, and she was horrible. Everybody was horrible though. And then The Materialist, I really like this movie, of course, and I'm gonna talk about the movie later, anyways. But so I can't get too much into the movie, I guess. But Dakota Johnson, I thought did great in the movie as the lead here, and I think it just goes to show that there's a lot on how good the script is, how good the director is, how good the editing is. That makes a big difference. That's what I've learned through this. Cause I go, Dakota Johnson, I thought she was a terrible actress. And I watch this and I go, and here we got Celine Song, who I think is one of my favorite directors today. She's made 2 movies and I love both movies. So I think she's one of the best directors and writers out there today. And so it's like, I don't know who did Madam Web, but I'm sorry, they were terrible. And it's like, you could put Tom Hanks in Madam Web and Tom Hanks would be terrible. That's how bad that movie is. You can't get a good performance out of it, So it just makes a big difference when you have a good director and a good script. Dakota Johnson goes from being such a terrible actress to being a really good one in this one, which I think was really cool to see. So I'm like, wow, great for Dakota Johnson. Because she is, and she's done some bad movies like the Shades of Grey movies. I know are like
Shades
terrible.
darker.
I've never seen them.
Shades darker, Jason.
I've never seen them. I've heard they're terrible. In fact, I don't know if I've seen that much of Dakota Johnson. To be honest, I don't know if I've seen that many movies with her. She is very good looking, though. I think she's very attractive, and so she's good at a female-led movie like this. Kind of a romance movie, so she does well for that. And yeah, it's more of a dramatic performance for her. And I don't know. And I guess I'll go more into it when I get into the Materialist here in another category. So, but anyways, that's my pick, Dakota Johnson.
Nice.
Yeah, great pick, Jason. I'm not a fan of her as an actress, but I think in Materialist, she was probably the best performance I've seen from her, to be honest.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah. I quite like the movie.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
Gosh, now I gotta find all these comments. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing I hate now, like the comment thing, dude. Like, I feel like I wish it could read off like almost automatically, like R2D2 or C3PO status. Like it would just read them off.
Yeah.
Timothy has never changed my mind. He
Ignore
does absolutely zero for me. Wow, Sin. Okay. I haven't seen Mark Supreme. Well, you guys see Mark Supreme, I guess. According to Mike, that's the game changer, I guess.
For me,
Number one,
yeah.
Timothy, and number two, not interested. Mostly because of Timothy. Well, Marty Supreme got a bunch of Oscar, like 9 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, I think, for Safdie, Best Costuming. I mean, so it's definitely a movie I think to watch. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to watch it. Sin says she loved Companion. Sophie is great. Yeah.
Agreed.
Barbie Ferreira and Bob Trevino loved it. Great movie on the watch it. No one watched it though. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a movie I want to watch. Yeah, Bob Trevino likes it, I think it's called, something like that. But everyone who's seen it too, I know I've said it's really good. So
Nice.
It says stupid trailer gave away one of the twists in that movie. Okay.
Companion, yeah, it did.
Oh, Companion. Oh, okay. I've heard good things about that one. Got the screener, but haven't seen it yet. Okay.
There's only so much time we have to watch movies, so
Yeah, that's what sucks. Is like with all the things you have to do, it's like, damn.
So one of the guys she streams with loves The Materialist. Awesome.
oh, nice.
I don't know why that didn't give much recognition, The Materialist. Yeah, I know a lot of film that means nothing to me. Get love from the Academy. Yeah, doesn't change my mind. I know.
That's fair.
I agree. All right, so now worth best drama movie.
Yeah, best drama. Yeah, that's the next one. So this one was kind of hard for me too, like worst performance, but I think it's mainly just because of my personal taste is where I normally just watch, like I said, horror movies and stuff. So a lot of my stuff is thriller or horror. And I was like thinking, like, what's the most dramatic horror films I saw this year? And that's probably Frankenstein and Ugly Stepsister. Those are probably the top two. So I went
Okay.
with The Ugly Stepsister just to give
Oh,
this
okay.
one a shout out for this one. It's
Nice.
more drama led, you know what I mean? Just the way the acting is
Okay.
and stuff like that. It's more emote acting. It's very old school. It's a period piece setting. So it just kind of fits that drama category a little bit more. But this is definitely a body horror film that has some of the cringiest moments I've seen all year that are just going
Very
to make you
disturbing.
go, like, but it still has a good story. There's a good story and they're a good part. I mean, even the main story just between kind of like the sisters and them battling for the love and the compassion of this prince. Like, so I thought it was really cool. So for me, I'm going to go with Ugly Stepsister as best drama. Like I said, it's more horror, but it definitely has drama elements in it.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm seeing a pattern of horror through all your answers. I'm like, that's a
Yeah, I
horror,
think
that's a horror,
everything
that's a
on here,
horror.
yeah.
Like we have a horror category coming up as well. So all right, Mike. Best drama.
Yeah, by the way, Ugly Stepsister's definitely body horror disturbing. It's the moments in that I was like, oh, it takes a lot for me to react. I was like, no.
Yeah, I thought
At
that
one
one
point, I was,
sequence that had with the, I thought I knew it when I saw
bro,
it. I was like,
bro, it was the point with the nose. I was like, I went like, oh no, I couldn't properly watch because.
Okay.
So just to give you guys a quick story on that, and then I'll give you my thing. I just have to mention this because like I a few years ago had to have an operation on my nose on the inside because one side's bigger than the other. That's how it was born. Deviated septum, I guess they call it. And I went to see the doctor at the time who was going to. I had to sign a form to be like, yeah, I want to do this. And when they were explaining to me like what was going to happen, I'm not kidding. I started to sweat and I felt faint. And I was like, look, I'm just going to sign the form. I don't care what you do to me when I'm asleep. Just just do what you need to do, but don't tell me what you're gonna do.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, because when it's like described to me, I'm like,
Um,
nah, no, thank you. um, so, bro, that moment in Ugly Stepsister, I was like, oh hell no, I know what that's like. But yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. So best drama. This might come as a bit of a shock to you guys, actually. It's a movie I watched not at the start of the year when, because I think it was early in the year it came out. But I caught it on Amazon Prime one night. I just decided to click on streaming. It was on there, and that is Last Breath,
Okay.
which is Woody Harrelson and I'd like to say it's Simu Liu from
okay, yeah,
Alien.
I saw
Oh yeah, from
I saw that
Shang-Chi,
movie
right?
Yeah, that's
based
right.
on a
And
true
then
story.
yeah, that's right. And then there's the other guy in there, but I can't remember his name, so
Yeah, I don't
apologies.
know who the other guy is, but yeah,
Yeah. And I don't
yeah,
want to
that
give
was a
too
cool
any
one.
spoil. I don't want to give any too spoilers because it's based on a true story, as you
It's a true
guys know.
story. Yeah,
Right, right. But yeah, I just found that to be a really great drama and the one that I found myself like really invested in. And I think it's more so about like this guy gets trapped underwater, and he's in this perilous position. Not having a clue what's going on, and obviously, meanwhile, you're waiting for the land crew to come rescue him if they can, or the crew underwater, and then the orders to the land and all that kind of stuff, really. But yeah, it's one I found myself really invested in and being like, wow, like this is a true story. Like,
yeah, that's the crazy part.
yeah, it was wild, wild. Yeah, really good acting. Woody Harrelson. I mean, I always like him, but like I think he did a good job here as
He was
well.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, again, not like a groundbreaking performance, but I felt like it was a bit more serious than the goofiness that we usually see from him. And yeah, just some moments I like had a big smile on my face. Some moments I was feeling a bit emotional, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna go Last Breath.
Nice.
yeah, I definitely crossed off deep sea diving as a job after I saw that movie. I'm like, this is not a job for this is not a job for me.
Oh
That
no,
looks like a
yeah, that's one of
terrible
my greatest
job.
fears, man. Deep water diving. That's oh hell no.
Yeah, you're in this big metal suit that you can barely move in, and you're down deep in the water. That's
Yeah,
terrible. Why would anybody do that? Or how does anybody do that? I don't get it. Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah, that's cool. I forgot about that movie, but yeah, I saw that
Right.
movie. That was early in the year.
Yeah,
I think Sin liked it quite a bit. In fact, I feel like I saw her review first before I saw the movie, and it got me interested in it. Um, all right, best drama for me, The Materialist. I just started talking about it already with Dakota Johnson.
Nice.
Uh, this was such a cool movie because I didn't know what to expect when I saw it. I had no expectations, and then it was on HBO Max, so I was like, oh, I'll check this out. Kind of came and went. I don't feel like much people talked about it. It kind of came and went in the theater. You have Dakota Johnson, you have Chris Evans, and uh, what's the other guy?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. And so it's a love triangle kind of, but not like it's not like a rom com kind of triangle. It's it's kind of like both guys actually aren't bad. They're both kind of good guys. They're a little bit different. So it's kind of like who's she gonna pick? The really rich guy or the poor working actor guy? Anyway, so there's kind of and they're different. So it's kind of interesting. But what's interesting about the movie is just it's about matchmaking because she's a matchmaker. So the movie really delves with getting into the dating world, and like I said in my review, it hit me home personally because my wife left me. I'm going to go through a divorce probably at some point, and the thought of dating again is scary as hell. And how do you match up with someone else after all? And but yet it's like we're all lonely. We all want to be loved, and so I don't know. It really hit me emotionally at the core
Yeah.
of what that's like, and what I'm feeling right now in my life. But I think it's wonderfully written, underrated as a written movie. I mean, the Celine song did "Past Lives" a couple years ago, and this movie, and man, this is some of the best dialogue I've ever heard in a movie. This movie and Past Lives, both movies, incredible written dialogue. I love the way she writes dialogue with characters, I guess, and I love her storytelling. I think it's just maybe one of the best. She's only done two movies, and they've both been home runs for me. So I want to see more Celine Song do
Nice.
more. do more movies, in my opinion. So
Nice, man. Nice. And yeah, Jason, it's amazing to hear just how much it connected with you as well.
yeah, it's weird. I was watching it and I'm thinking, oh, this is just gonna be a mediocre movie. I didn't know Celine Song did it either. It's funny. I was watching the movie and I was like, man, this is written so well. Who did this? And I looked at Celine Song. I'm like, of course it's Celine Song. It felt just like Past Lives. I'm like, yeah, she knows how to write dialogue
That's cool.
really well. So I'm like, why did people sleep on this movie? It's just so well written. Anyways, but yeah, as I was watching it, I couldn't believe how emotionally captivated I got into it. I wasn't expecting that. It was like one of those really nice surprises where I'm like, wow, I'm so invested in this movie all of a sudden, which is nice when you get those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to find one way. No, I did that one already. Okay. Sin, you're the MVP of comments right now. I mean,
She's just hitting it. She's on.
okay, have a business meeting, so I've got to run. We'll keep the tab open in case you're still okay.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Sin. Okay,
Glad.
so I guess that's comments. All right, so now we're going to best comedy, which I feel like is the hardest category for me every year to find a good comedy.
Yeah.
And I think I thought Robert said one time that he doesn't see many comedies because there's no good ones out there. And so I'm curious if you guys had trouble as well as me finding a good comedy. So what's your best comedy?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, comedy, it's been a dry spell for many, many years. But I
Yeah.
mean, like we have to, man. Like this, when I saw this is like one of the greatest sequels that I thought could happen. Like I was like, when I heard it, I was like, man. And then just to know that Adam Sandler's God tier, bro. Happy Gilmore 2 is the best. No, I'm
Oh
just
my
kidding.
gosh. Okay, good. I was like,
No, I
we
just
just
had that.
I was like, we just badmouthed it for a whole segment. And
No, so for best comedy, I just had to hit that one a little bit. I was like, oh man, I love Adam Sandler though. He's a gem. I love that man. But for best comedy, I went with I already spoke about this movie a little bit. For underrated, I did Queens of the Dead, which is Tina Romero. And for me, this was the film when I thought about it in my head that I got the most genuine laughs out of me. Like where I was just sitting there, belly laughs, like those ones where you're just like, you hear a line and you're just like, like, and you just start chuckling. That's kind of what this movie did for me. So that's why I had it at best comedy, because I was like, it was just the most natural laughs. It's not going to make you laugh out loud crying type thing, but it's just there's certain characters in here. And I like how Tina Romero, it's like an LGBT plus community type movie. So all the characters in here are typically either gay, they're drags, or they're trans. And their character dynamics are so colorful, so fun, and everybody does such a good job. So I had to put Queens of the Dead up here for best comedy movie. There's even like a male kind of chauvinistic character in the film, and you warm up to him by the time the end of the movie happens. You're just loving that character too. So it's like one of those films that gives you all these different character dynamics, and you just, by the end of the movie, you're invested and you don't want any of them to die. So yeah, Queens of the Dead, best comedy movie.
Nice.
all right, so I should have guessed horror comedy would be in your comedy list. Makes total sense.
Yeah. No, it's the one I'm gonna have to definitely check out. Yeah, I've heard a few things about it, so I definitely want to watch it. It's on Shudder,
Yeah.
right? You said?
Yeah, it's on Shudder right now. Yeah, if you want to stream it on Shudder, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll keep you posted.
All right, Mike, what's your favorite comedy?
So yeah, like you were saying, Jason, tough to pick because I think I only saw one comedy movie. No, I think I maybe saw 2 or 3 maximum. I feel like it's not a genre we get much of nowadays.
No.
Like flat out comedy, right? Like it's usually always comedy mixed with a horror or mixed
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
a different genre.
Yeah.
So the movie I went for, some people liked it. I think Jason, you hated it. And it's
Yeah.
Naked Gun.
I say Naked Gun, right? Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Yeah. Haven't seen the originals only a few years ago for the first time ever. I really liked the original with Leslie Nielsen, of course. And this one, it was cool because I went for my birthday. For my birthday, the family either do a meal, but for me, I'm like, hey, look, I want us to go to cinema, right? As like a family, everyone goes, which is extremely rare. So we all went. It was like a very quiet showing, but everyone in the cinema was laughing. We all had a great time with the movie. There is some gags that are like stupid and like running themes, like the coffee cup. It's not exactly the funniest. It's a bit stupid. And there is some gags that were stupid, but I found like some like clever, like witty one-liners were in there at the same time, and those were the ones I was like, oh hey, that really worked. Like that one actually got like a kick out of me. Again, not in the, I'm not going to sit here and be like it's the best comedy ever. It's the greatest movie of all time because it's absolutely not. Watch. I don't mean it's going to be as good as the original Naked Gun, for example. I don't mean nothing's going to beat that in terms of that comedy.
I agree.
But yeah, Naked Gun.
Yeah, there's two spoof movies that came out this year. I saw one that I did not like, which was Naked Gun. I thought that was disappointing. One I really liked was Fackham Hall. It was a really funny spoof movie, which I kind of saw at the very end. So it kind of barely got in there. In fact, it was my number 10 movie of the year. So it kind of barely snuck in there because I thought the same thing when I'm thinking because I'm always thinking about like what's going to make the Old Millennial Awards, And when it comes to comedy, I'm always like, oh God, what's going to make comedy? Like I haven't seen any comedies. The only other comedy that might come close is the Spinal Tap sequel. I thought was okay. I gave it a positive review. The I forget what's called, the Spinal Tap something, the end continues or something like that. And it had some good laughs in there. I like the style. I like the mockumentary style. I'm a huge fan of spoof movies. I love movies that take a genre and just kind of make fun of it. And I thought this was really well done. Kind of spoofing the Downton Abbey and the British murder mystery movies. It did a really good job with that. I think there were some really clever jokes in there that I was like, oh, I did not see that joke coming. Like I love that kind of humor where they set up a joke and you think you know what the joke is, and then they hit you with a different joke, and you're like, ah, that's the joke. I didn't know that was going to be the joke. That's funny and that's clever, and I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely, maybe an underrated movie. I don't know how many people have seen this movie or know about it. I don't know if it was as advertised, but I think definitely one to check out if you want a good comedy, I think, of the year.
Sweet.
And it's good British humor. It's good British humor too. If you like British humor.
I was going to say,
British
Jason,
humor. I found out it's like an acquired taste, but there's some movies out there that just hit when they hit.
Yeah.
True. I was just going to say, yeah, I think in England it only got like a 1 week release, and that was it. So I missed it, unfortunately.
It's good because it kind of almost makes fun of English people that I thought was kind of funny. And I was like, I wonder what an English person would think of this movie because it feels like it's kind of making fun of the English culture in some senses, but I don't know. And I'm an American watching it going like, I wonder if that's, I don't know. There's some truth to that as far as the English culture goes. And yeah, all the different, as Mike would know more about the different subcultures of like English, whatever, because they make fun of the Cockneys, and I'm like, I know that's like a subculture or something of England. I know the Cockneys and, and all that. Anyway, so yeah. Ryan says, Friendship or Fackham Hall? Yeah, Fackham Hall.
Right. You saw it too. Yeah,
For
right.
me, not much competition. Yeah, Friendship. I hated that movie so much. It was really, it was in my top 10 worst movies of the year. But I guess other people liked it. Well, for me. All right, so now we're going with. All right, here's a good category: best horror / suspense.
Yeah.
So this, I'm curious. Robert's talked about a lot of horror movies. So what's the horror movie?
I know. Like everyone's a horror movie, so you're like, which one beat them all out?
It's like best drama horror movie, best comedy horror movie. I'm like, what the heck? What's going to win horror then?
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, it was pretty close because most of the year, The Ugly Stepsister was pretty high up there. Like that one just had staying power for a long time. But then once I watched Bring Her Back, that's my jam right there. And the only thing that kind of sucks about this film is it's not a film that you're going to be heavy like rewatching because the content is so dark. and the journey with this film is such a drab, like sad journey that you're not going to want to watch it all the time. But for me, Bring Her Back was the most potent and the horror film that stuck with me the most. And it has like ambiguity in it where it ends, and it doesn't necessarily tell you everything, but there's enough in the movie for when you go back on a second or a third watch that you watch it and you're kind of like, oh, I like pick up on it and you're like, I didn't even remember that. Or you kind of look at it and you're like, now I see that a little differently. So I like Bring Her Back. And for me, Sally Hawkins, like you said, was my favorite female performance of the year. Along with Ugly Stepsister, some of the most gruesome, like kind of cringing body horror moments of the year too. So yeah, Bring Her Back was my favorite horror film of last year.
All right, Mike, you're also a big horror guy, so
Yeah, definitely.
got up here.
Yeah, definitely agree. Know about Bring It Back. Yeah, really great movie as well. Definitely agree. Yeah. So for me, it was a one-off. It was start of the year as well of 2025. It's January, February time. I can't remember when. It's also a body horror movie, which I think Norman has not seen. It's on Shudder and it's called Grafted.
Nice.
So this one is about a young girl who goes to a university in New Zealand or Australia. It's one of the two. And she has this like birth defect. And as the movie starts to go on, it starts to like escalate further. I don't want to say too much for spoil. Sorry, guys, my internet is.
I said I lost you for a second.
It's terrible in this room. So yeah, anyway, I was saying, not going to speak too much into spoilers or anything like that, but this movie just ramps up and ramps up. It's kind of like The Substance meets Shudder.
Okay.
And it's a character, the young girl, who you just root for. You doesn't surprise me, Ryan. And yeah, it's a one where you root for the character. You want to see a happy ending, and I don't want to say any more. But Noran, I really want you to check it out because I think you'll dig it, bro.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely have to nail that one down and watch it because I think I remember when you posted about that one earlier in the year. Like I remember that.
Yeah, Jason, not for you.
Yeah, just the title. I'm like, I don't think that's for me. That doesn't sound good right away. I thought it might be Popeye the Slayer Man.
we were gifted with 2 Popeye movies last year. Yeah, I think we had 2 Popeye movies last year.
3 Popeye movies.
We had 3 Popeye horror movies. We had a Peter Pan horror movie, I think, as well.
Yeah,
I think we had a
Steamboat Willie one.
Steamboat Willie. I think we had a Bambi horror movie. How many? This was a year for bad horror movies. I think just from seeing Mike's like 10 worst movies of the year, it was like a bunch of these Disney horror movie. I was like, these sound so bad. These horror movies that came out this year. Yeah, the ones I hear a lot are like Weapons. People seem to really love Weapons.
Yep.
I saw it. I didn't like it, but I'm not a horror person. So interesting. Nobody said Weapons. That seems to be the movie. If I'd say the horror movie a lot of people talked about was Weapons, maybe. I'm trying to think. In fact, someone mentioned like Black Phone 2 on here as well.
Yeah, Black Phone 2, it was kind of like middle of the road on. It was kind of like the first Black Phone. Like I didn't hate it, but it was just middle of the road. Like it was just okay.
Yeah, Sinners, Black Phone 2, Weapons, he mentions were some big ones on here.
I'm just gonna go grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Ugly Stepsister, I've heard people talk about that one. Like I said, it got an Oscar nomination for makeup. I guess that's pretty bad. If a horror movie gets nominated for makeup, that means something bad really happened in the movie.
Right.
I'm guessing that's why I got makeup or something. I'm gonna go for the typical one. So I'm the one that's gonna go for the obvious one, and so I'm going with it. And that's Sinners. I mean, that was the big movie of the year. I feel like when it came to horror. Now Robert will say it's horror light. I think he'll be like, it's kind of horror, but I think it fits though. There's vampires sucking blood, so that's kind of horror style, I guess. I did not expect to like this movie at all. In fact, I wasn't even planning on seeing it, but everybody was talking about it. It was a big talk when it came out. Everybody was talking about how good this movie is, and I was like,
Yeah.
and so much that it got 16 freaking Oscar nominations. It broke the record for most Oscar nominations. That's how well everybody loved this movie, including best actor, best supporting actress in there as well, best director for Ryan Coogler, and just everything. Like it got nominated for like every category that it was in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I watched it, not wondering if I was going to like it or not because of the horror aspect, but I didn't think the horror was that bad. It wasn't too bad for me to watch, and I thought this was such a well made movie. Ryan Coogler is one of my favorite directors out there today, uh, and like I said, I love Michael B. Jordan. He was my pick for best actor. Like I thought he could have even been nominated for like Black Panther. I think he's good about everything he does. Like I said, Creed, Black Panther,
Yeah, he's
and
good at
Coogler.
Black Panther. Yeah.
And Coogler is such a good director. And so this is like their first kind of getting Oscar nominated, those two, and they've done a bunch of movies together. And but the cinematography is great. I think the performances are really good. I like Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld. Yeah, I thought she
Mhm.
was great in the movie. What's his name? Delroy got a nomination. It was kind of a surprise nomination. I thought he was really good in the movie as well. Uh, Miles Canton, the guitar player, was really good as well. I love the villain. I thought that was such a good villain. The Irish
Oh,
vampire,
Jack O'Connell. Yeah, Jack
the Jack
O'Connell. Yeah.
O'Connell, the vampire from Ireland. Man, was he good? He was menacing. Uh, I love that the vampires are so kind of they're very charming. Like I would be a vampire too if they came to me. I'd be like, yeah, I'll join your group, and before they bit me, I'm like, oh crap, it'd be easy. But I love how it plays with what I love about the movie is that the first hour of the movie has nothing to do with vampires. Almost, it's like it's just about this two twin brothers building this juke joint in the South, and them getting people together. And I thought it's kind of interesting. And then, but then when the vampires, I mean, man, it amps up when the vampires start showing up. I think it made it real exciting. Especially love when because I love that they can't come in unless you invite them. And so you're like, all right, we'll just hold up here, and they can't come in. And then someone invites them in, and then all hell breaks loose. And that was such a cool scene when they all start rushing in there. And now you're fighting vampires. It was great, and I love the kill scene at the end when he kills the villain. I thought great kill scene. Um, and the music was really good. They did a lot with the music. I even like the vampires. They do their own Irish jig stuff. I thought that was good, along with the blues music they're doing inside the juke joint. Yeah, I thought it was all around just a really well. It's to me, I would not. This would not be a movie for me, except that's how well made this movie was. That even a guy that's not a horror fan enjoyed it. So it's
Nice.
it's a horror movie for people that don't like horror movies.
That's a good way to describe it too. Yeah, I think it's just because Ryan Coogler did a very good job at writing characters. I feel like if I was in the room with him when he came up with this movie, I don't think he was like the first thing was I'm going to do a vampire film. I think he thought
Right.
about the characters first and wrote these
Yeah.
characters and then was like, just kind of put them in this situation, and that's why it kind of came out so good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. Now we're going with best action movie.
Yeah, yep. So best action. This one actually leans more into sci-fi. I put this in horror. This was on my top 10 horror of the year, but I mean this is more sci-fi action, definitely, and that's gonna be Predator Badlands. I
Okay, that's
freaking
that's a good
yeah.
Nice.
movie.
I freaking love this movie, man. Like for real. Like for Dan Trachtenberg to put us in the helm of a movie where the lead character is a predator, a Yautja, and we're following him as our protagonist, I thought was fantastic. And just giving us more lore with the predators. The world they're on is freaking crazy. Like all the different creatures. It is a very CGI heavy film, but for me,
Yeah,
it blended so real, like with the scenes that they were in. Like it didn't take me out of it. There were no scenes where I'm like, oh, I can tell that's fake. Like I didn't get taken out of it at all once. Like that scene when he first sees the callus, when he calls the callus there, and he has like the fire boat going behind him, and then you just see that freaking thing ramp up there. Like Yeah, this was definitely the movie for me. And after seeing it, I probably do like Prey a little bit more. Like in my mind, I was thinking about it. Prey is still above this one, but Predator Badlands is pretty freaking close. And in terms of action, I thought this was the best, the most fun I had all year with an action sci-fi type film.
Well, Robert, this is probably the closest. It wasn't my pick, but this is probably the closest me and you have ever gotten to.
Oh, on the
to
okay, cool.
that's a movie that definitely would come close to being on my list.
Nice.
Unlike the other movies I'd never seen. So this is one movie I've seen, and I can go, yeah, that's a good movie.
Nice.
So we almost agree on this category. That's about the closest we can go. All right, Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, sure. I've not seen Predator Badlands and I've not seen Prey. Two movies I do want to check out though.
Oh yeah, those ones. Yeah, definitely. You should do like a Prey Predator month thing. Like just do all the Predator films in like a month and kind of do reviews and stuff.
Yeah, see, Predator Badlands to me was a little more better paced than Prey was boring to me, but Predator Badlands was a lot of action, nicely paced movie. So
Nice. Okay, it's good to know. It's good to know. I like the two different opinions on Prey as well. So best action movie for me, again, it's tough because there's not really many action movies sometimes.
yeah,
But I'm gonna go with Warfare from A24.
Okay.
what is it?
Warfare.
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 Yeah, Warfare.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Warfare.
your accent must have caught me off guard. I was like, what?
Sorry.
Warfare. Okay. Gotcha.
Warfare. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of action drama. I guess you could say. But yeah, it's probably the most realistic depiction you're going to see of people in a war. And it made me be like, yeah, I never want to go and serve in the military ever. You know, fair play, kudos to the men and women that do. Right, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, for real, praise them for sure. But yeah, we're two. I would never do that either.
Yeah.
Nah, but yeah, not really too much to say about this one. Yeah, just really hard hitting, very realistic. The sound design's really great in this movie. A few times I was like, caught me off guard. The sound like dead silence or a big loud explosion, and I was like, wow, like it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, very realistic movie. Yeah, best action movie for me anyway.
Nice, good pick. Yeah, that was a very potent film, and yeah, it kind of reminded me of very much like Dunkirk. Like it was kind of that style where it's like it's more of an experience type film. It's not really about the story. It's more about sucking you out of your chair right now in the theater and putting you in that world.
It did.
Yeah, it's a survival movie. It's like we're just trying to survive. You know, there's no victory to be won. It's just we're trying to get out alive. Kind of reminds me of what was that movie? I can't remember now. Black Hawk Down, kind of like that, where it's like,
oh yeah, that's a good, that's a good callback. Yeah,
we're in a bad situation. We're just trying to get out alive. That's kind of like the way. Yeah, it is. Wow, that was in my top 10 favorite movies of the year. So I like Warfare. The sound design, that was one of the best sound designs I've ever seen in the movie. Where it didn't get nominated, which I thought was I can't believe it didn't get nominated for an Oscar. I think that was a big mistake. It did get nominated for a BAFTA though for best sound, so at least BAFTA got it right. But yeah, there's moments where like sound just totally disappears and the characters are just wandering in the smoke, and you're like, wow, it feels real. So yeah, good pick. I like both picks. I have a different pick, and I like both of your guys'. So this is kind of cool.
Nice.
This is maybe the only category we all kind of agree on. For me, it was Nobody 2.
Okay.
And for me, when I think action, I want balls to the walls, shoot 'em up, kung fu action, that kind of stuff. I like shoot 'em ups, and I love hand-to-hand combat movies. As you guys know, we talked about kung fu movies and stuff like that. And this is not a kung fu movie, but I'm just saying that's what I love. And that's I think of John Wick, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I want John Wick when I'm thinking action, And this is the closest I got to it this year was Nobody 2. The other movie, Fight or Flight, was really good too. It was between those two.
Okay.
Both were fun action movies. Very unrealistic, maybe silly at times, but I don't mind it as long as I'm having fun, and I was having fun in the movie. And so, yeah, that's why I picked Nobody too. I just had so much fun with this movie. And it's just Bob Odenkirk, who's not your normal looking action star, which is kind of interesting here. He's a comedic actor, really, and here he's playing this action guy. And he's just taking his family out on vacation, and then he gets involved in this police corruption, and and this other character played by Cher Stone, and all of a sudden becomes this just action shoot 'em up thing. And I thought the action scenes were really well done. I thought it was really shot really well. That's the hardest thing about action movies is a lot of them are shot very badly. Too much editing, too much quick shots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad action movies out there, but I thought the action was done very well, and I thought shot well. Anyways, and I don't know. I just had fun, and the comedy. I love an action movie that also combines comedy, and this does that as well.
Yep.
So you got good action, you got some comedy as well, of course, with Bob Odenkirk in there, and Chris Lloyd is also very funny in the movie, playing the dad. And this guy is like probably well into his 80s, and he's still putting out work. Chris Lloyd. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but there's this great moment where you think he might be dead, but he's still alive. And he has this big like explosion, like he has to hit this thing to make this. They're at a water park, and he like rigs this water park full of explosions for because these bad guys are attacking them. And I love the whole water park scene, the finale of the movie. It's such a great uh, place, a scene to make an action movie. And you think he's dead, and he gets up, he goes, "Fire in the effing hole!" Bam! Hits the explosions. Ah, that was such a fun moment. I was like, "Oh, Chris Lloyd, you still got it." Anyways, but yeah, if you want a fun movie, this is I thought so fun to watch. It was really high on my top 10. Anyway, so that's my favorite action movie. Nobody 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a fun sequel, Jason. Yeah, I agree.
Ryan has Avatar for me.
Oh,
Novocaine was fun to me. I like Novocaine. I gave it 3 stars. It was like I didn't love it, but I liked it.
That was Jack Quaid, right? Yeah, Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
It was kind of an interesting twist on action where the guy couldn't feel any pain. The guy can't feel any pain, so he's just getting hit with, and he keeps going because he doesn't feel it, and it's kind of fun. There's kind of some humor in there too as well. But yeah, sorry. All right, now we're going to best animation movie.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where Mike goes with this one.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, best animated, we're gonna kind of keep it in the realm of sci-fi and Predator. Best animated film for me was Predator: Killer of Killers. I thought this was really cool for me. Yeah, this one I loved, and that was kind of cool that Dan Trachtenberg he brought us 2 Predator films in the same year. I think it's just obvious that you can tell this guy's a fan of this franchise and that he brought in this anime lore. I loved it, like the different Predators that we get to experience, the different timelines too, as well, and characters. Kind of like how Jason said with one of the previous films, like there are some moments where you kind of have to suspend disbelief, like in terms of what characters are doing in this anime, but it still looks really cool. The animation is off the charts, the battles are really good, and I like the fact that it's, mini stories. It's an anthology story, so we get, I believe it's 3, kind of 4 with the wrap-up storyline, kind of 4 storylines in one movie, and Predator Killer of Killers was the best animated film for me, but I only really saw 2. It was only this and Zootopia 2, so that was really the only ones battling for it, and Killer of Killers got it for me.
Yeah,
Nice.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Killers of Killers. I didn't see it because I didn't realize it was a movie. I thought it was like a series or something.
Yeah,
but I guess it's almost like because it's not all one storyline. Whatever. Yeah.
no, yeah, it's anthology style, so it is
So I didn't
have a
realize
wrap-up storyline that kind of brings the movie together.
Okay.
But the timelines, it takes place in 3 different timelines.
Yeah, so it wasn't on my radar as a movie, I guess. So I just missed it. But
yeah. I heard Perez talk about that one as well, Nora, and I think he liked it. So
yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I think it was either him or Rashad. One of them messaged me on my review for it.
What nice.
Mike, do you have some obscure movie I never heard of for this category?
I do indeed. I'll not talk about it much because I don't think you guys will have seen it. But basically, it is an animation movie of an anime. And that is Chainsaw Man.
Okay,
Um,
I've heard of it.
oh,
Nice
okay.
choice.
Where's the arc? Yeah. It's an expansion upon the first season of the anime series. It's about 90-minute runtime or so it flew by. It kind of took the first season and made it like it's added to the
Okay.
first season and made you kind of want to go back to watch the first season.
Okay.
The ending, um, kind of left me shocked and kind of crushed me at the same time. I didn't expect that at all. The movie ended and I was just sat there like in silence. I was like, oh man. And everyone around me was like, well, you should have seen this coming. This is bound to happen. And I was like, didn't want it to happen, no. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can't really speak too much because you guys probably haven't seen it. But yeah, was that or the only other animation movie? Well, I saw two other animations instead of anime. It was like that one I saw the new Demon Slayer movie
Okay.
and 100 Meters it was called. But Chainsaw Man was the best one for me anyway.
Nice. Yeah, my
Okay.
daughter loves that show. The show. She watches the show. My daughter's really into it.
Oh,
She has
nice.
like, yeah, she's got like a jacket and like the one of those little backpack purses for the anime.
Oh man, she'll love the movie, Noran.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to treat her and like either I'll have to just buy it on physical or like rent it one day and we'll watch it.
But I'm surprised you've not seen the series if your daughter watches it.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. It's one of those ones where she just got hooked on it, and then like she was like watching it, and I just noticed her watching, and I was like, "What is this?" And it's kind of like me as being a little prying adult. Like I was just like, "All right," and I checked out a few episodes, but I didn't get Adam automatically hooked on it. But it's one that I have to finish for sure.
Nice, bro. Please do.
I've heard the movie mentioned. No, I don't know anything about Chainsaw Man, but I've heard people talk about they
Yeah.
like it. So that's all I know. It seems like it's fairly popular amongst people that like those kind of movies, I guess.
Sure.
It's not it's not like a big mainstream movie, I guess. It's
No.
more what's the word?
It's like more niche because it's
Niche.
just
It's
like
more
that
niche.
category where
Yeah.
you have to be really into
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really cool. I will just quickly add that I think the budget was between 1 and 4 million, and I think at the box office it took like 100 million, which was
That's
really good
nice.
for a small anime movie.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, so it's nice to see those kind of mediums be supported as well.
All right, so you guys are come down to me. I have to give you the obvious one. That's Zootopia 2. That's to me the obvious choice for number one.
Yeah.
But it was not a good year for animation, I didn't think, compared to last year. Last year I thought was so good with Wild Robot and the Transformers movie, Transformers 1.
Yeah,
I thought both
Transformers was
were
good.
really some of the best movies I've seen. This year, it's just like I think I only saw two movies, Elio and Zootopia 2, maybe. And I think both got nominated for best animation movie actually for the Oscars. Elio, yeah, wasn't too super crazy about that. I know DreamWorks came out with the Bad Guys 2. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Of course, Zootopia 2 is the Disney one, and I'm sure there's other ones I'm just not thinking of. I just did not care for a lot what was going on animation wise for some
Yeah, it
reason.
wasn't a big year, and then I
Um,
missed the whole K-pop Demon Hunter. I didn't watch
oh
that,
yeah,
but that one took the world by storm. Apparently,
that's
Yeah,
probably culturally that's probably the big one. Everybody talks about K-pop Demon Hunters, which is on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet. And I need to watch that. I know if Sin is watching. Sin loves K-pop Demon Hunters, and she talks
it's
about
good.
that.
It's good.
So I need to catch that at some point. Um, Again, it doesn't seem like the movie kind of movies I usually watch. It seems more anime style or something, but people love that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I need to check that out. Zootopia 2, of course, is the big movie, and it made a bunch of money. I think it's like one. I want to say it's maybe made the most money almost of this last year. It made a lot of money.
I think 1.7 billion at the minute, maybe
Okay.
growing as well, which is
It's crazy.
that's a crazy hit.
Yeah, I had a fun time. I saw it kind of opening weekend with my sister and my niece, and it was a sold out theater, so it was a lot of fun. I laughed a lot. It's a funny movie. Good world building of the Zootropolis, whatever. I know in England they don't call it Zootopia; they call it something else. Uh,
Zootropolis. I don't know why.
Zootropolis.
I don't know why.
Why do you guys want to be different? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Beats me.
uh, yeah, so it was overall a solid sequel to a really great movie. Zootopia is one of my favorite animation movies of all time. It's so good,
Hmm.
and this was a solid sequel to a really good movie. Love the two main characters, Zach and Hop, or Wild and Hops, are two great main characters, and yeah, a lot of other side characters come in as well, and we get more world building and talk about the reptiles and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I guess you saw it, Robert. So you liked it.
Yeah, I saw it with the family. Yeah, they went to the theater experience. So yeah, that one and Prayer of Killer Killers, as far as my mind goes, thinking about last year, were the only ones animation wise that I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, this one might be more family friendly than Killer of Killers. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Chainsaw. It's probably more family friendly than Chainsaw Man too. I don't know.
Chainsaw Man's good, but yeah, it is kind of violent too. It's got some
It's
good
kind of
parts to it
violent.
though.
I have a feeling Chainsaw Man might be violent. So I guess I went with the family friendly movie
There.
of animation. But yeah,
Nice.
I think Ryan talks about Bad Guys 2 as well and Zootopia 2. Yeah,
Nice.
I need to see Bad Guys 2. I haven't gotten around to seeing that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of those Bad Guys or Zootopia.
All right, now down to our last two categories. First, we'll go to the negative one. What was the worst movie of the year for you? And I know we've talked about these already on our channel, so we're just going to rehash, I guess, what we talked about. But just for fun, let's talk about them again. uh,
Yeah, so for me, the worst film, just I knew based on concept that this was going to be a bad idea when they brought this up years and years ago. But Strangers Chapter 2, the Strangers thing needs to die. Like they need to just put this
yeah,
to rest. And it sucks too because I heard that apparently, like after Chapter 3, that they're even thinking of doing a fourth film. So I don't understand, but I guess they're still making money on these somehow. But yeah, Chapter 2, I thought when they announced they were doing a trilogy of Strangers films years ago, like I was already like hesitant about it. Yeah, I just was like, nah. And then after seeing Chapter 1 in theaters, I was like, hell no, I ain't going to the theaters to see the next one. But when I watched the next one, I didn't go to the theaters. But when I watched it here at the house, I was like, nah, Strangers Chapter 2 was not worth my time. It's basically kind of like one chase scene that's extended into like an hour and a half movie, which seems like a cool idea at first, like in your head when you're thinking about it. But the way it's executed in the movie, it's pretty awful.
Yeah, and
yeah.
the decision to give backstory to the strangers and tell you who they are defeats the point of the strangers
They're
title.
strangers.
Yeah, it's like it just makes them so, yeah, you know them now. So it's like it's not as scary. It's just there's no fear anymore.
Yeah, my knowledge of strangers is based on Mike's reviews, and what I get that they're bad movies from Mike's reviews.
It's I think for me to add to Noran, if it's any horror franchise in general, if they announce they're making a trilogy, that is a big red flag right there. Because you know they're going to try and make an exciting opening movie, make a middle filler one, and then give you an ending.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
very hard to nail that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's got to be unplanned, almost like the
yes,
X trilogy or like Fear Street trilogy. It's got to be something that we had no idea it was coming, and then they didn't really plan it, but it hits and it just fits. And that's kind of how those are the two most recent trilogies I think that have hit on a good note.
agreed. Agreed. At least with like the X and Pearl and Maxine, like they give you characters that you care about, stories that's interesting, they're all different from one another. And as you
Yeah.
said, you didn't know Pearl was coming, right? So, agree, Noran. Completely agree.
Yeah, I knew Mike would agree with that one. uh, All right, Mike, are you strangers too, or you got something different? Yeah, you got. I bet you got
No,
A
He's
Disney
got
movie,
different.
don't you?
a different. Yeah. So my worst movie of the year is the movie that I walked out on.
Oh, that's right. You did
Now,
walk out on a movie.
now for now, if I walk out on a movie, it has to be the worst movie of the year. I can't get lower than that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, as a cinephile, and all of us love cinema, right? It takes a lot for us to walk out of any given movie,
Oh
even if
yeah,
we dislike it, to walk out.
yeah, yeah.
I got about an hour and 10 minutes in, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's a movie called Die, My Love. It stars Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. So two great actors in their own
Oh
right.
man,
They've
yeah,
done good. Now, don't get me wrong, they've had some stinkers in their filmography, but they've had some really good
yeah,
hits as well, right?
yeah.
And I thought, okay, I knew nothing about the movie. I'd never saw any trailers, so I thought, okay, I'm probably going to go into kind of a unique watch with this one. And so essentially, it's about these two. They're a couple. They move into a brand new house, and they're a young, wild, and free couple, and they're enjoying life. They're making love at every turn, and just enjoying their life, right?
Yeah.
And then one day it changes because Jennifer Lawrence character gets pregnant. This is pretty early into the movie, so not really a big spoiler. This is the theme of the plot. She gets pregnant, and then she starts to lose her kind of like independence and her free time because Ron Patterson's obviously got to go out to work to keep the house and support her and then this newborn baby that's about to come. And then in the meantime, she starts making these wild decisions in terms of like she's going through like a breakdown, but not to the point of like you can root for her and you'd be like, oh, this poor character suffering. Like you just hate what she's doing. And I'm just like, well, why, like, this movie's just pretentious. Best way I can describe it, guys. It's pretentious. It doesn't give you anything to root for the characters. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe if you've gone for a pregnancy, like a woman's perspective of a pregnancy, maybe they can relate with this way more than I could ever, right?
Yeah.
And I can respect that if people can relate to this more. Maybe parents, like I know, obviously Noran's a parent, so maybe you can relate to this more than I can, right? But man, horrible movie. And again, I got to an hour and 10 minutes in, and I was like, a few people had walked out before I did,
Oh wow.
and I was like, yeah, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they've been a bit harsh. And as I got 70 minutes in, and I was like, no, they made the wise decision.
They made the right.
So yeah, that's my worst movie anyway.
So you don't know how it ends or anything?
No, I don't care to know either.
You don't care to know?
Oh, I'm comfortable. I'll live my life.
Yeah, I'm good.
The mystery of what happens.
Right.
Oh man, I'm so glad you put that in your worst.
I'd rather watch War of the Worlds again, Jason. That says something.
Right. Was War of the Worlds on your top 10 worst list?
Oh yeah, but at least that one you
Okay.
can kind of have some fun with it, right?
You laugh at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wasn't like Peter Pan on your list? I can't remember what it was.
I've not seen it.
Oh, okay. It just seemed like okay. There were some of those. Maybe it was one of the Popeye movies or something you had on there. I can't remember. But yeah, Die My Love. That looks like such a bummer of a movie. Like that's a movie I would watch at home, and only in like 15-minute segments or something like that. Like I'd have to quit after, But to go to see it in the movie theater, that is torture. I would think.
Jason, if you end up watching it, I am intrigued.
No, God, it looks like a bummer. I don't know what to say. Looks depressing.
Yeah.
All right, my worst: Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, whatever. It was the obvious. Again, I feel like I'm going for the obvious one, but it was. Everybody knew. I knew this was gonna be the worst movie like 2 years ago, and I was just waiting for it to come out to put it on my list. Cause I was like, oh, this is gonna make. And like I said, I saw it just so I could put it on this list because I like this deserves to be on the list. This deserves the hate that it gets. Disney should be ashamed of itself what it's doing to its movies. It used to be such a great company, and it's coming out with some of the worst stuff. And Disney needs to get their crap together and come up with better ideas than this. Though I will say I did like Lilo and Stitch, so they did a good job with that. But Snow White, what a classic movie, and they totally ruined it. And part of the problem was Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler somehow figured out how to ruin her career and the movie at the same time. I've never seen an actor and actress do this before, but just by interviewing, she ruined everything. It was something to watch. It was like I said, it was like this train wreck. I knew it was coming like 2 years ago. I was like, this train wreck's coming. And I kept watching this train wreck. I couldn't keep my eyes off it. And finally it came. And yeah, it was a train wreck, just like I thought it was about 2 years ago when they announced this movie. And I was like, oh, this is such a train wreck ready to come. And
Yep.
they just changed the story around. This is like I said, How to Train Your Dragon. That's the way to do it. You keep with the main story. This movie changed the story. They added a bunch of characters that shouldn't have been there. They made the dwarves these CGI monsters that just did not work, and they even designed them differently, which I hated the design of some of the dwarves characters. Which it's like, why keep to the original? Just keep to the original, and you would have came up with something decent that would have been watchable. But what they did with this, and they took away the prince. The prince is such an important part of the story, and there's no prince. It's so stupid. And Gal Gadot cannot act. I thought she was good in Wonder Woman because she's like super hot. So I like forgave everything. But her as the evil queen, it was just terrible acting. And now I'm convinced that she's just a terrible actress, but she's hot. So, what do you do? And to make her the queen, that's like, oh, who's the fairest of them all? It's like, well, you are. You're Gal Gadot, for goodness sakes. You're the hottest woman in this movie. And yet you're upset that, Snow White is the fairest of them all. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying you put an ugly woman in the role, but you just can't put Gal Gadot in that role. She's just too hot for that role. I don't know. I think it was just really bad casting and just bad decisions all around. The ending was just stupid. She breaks the mirror and then she dies. It's like, what are we doing here? That's not how it should end. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it deserves to be number one, and so I had to see it just to put it number one. And I hope they learned their lesson. I just hope Disney learns their lesson from this.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that a movie where you could have hired little people actors,
Yes,
like
hire little people.
right, like to promote little people and actually a role that
Yes,
makes sense for them. Not saying that they can't do any other roles like Peter Dinklage, right? He can do all sorts, but
yeah,
Snow White specifically, right?
Yeah.
And they hire a little person to be one of the prince's, like, but what they're called, man.
I forget what they're called. They're like bandits or something, aren't they? Or
Bandits, right? But they hire a little person to be a bandit, but they don't hire
Is
a
it
little
little
person
person?
to be one of the little person dwarfs. I'm
yeah.
like, what?
You could have made him one of the dwarves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, horrible movie. Horrible.
I'm glad you agree.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. But
No, it's not.
But yeah, it's questionable as well. It baffles me. Like, I understand if some actors take some jobs for a payday, right? Obviously, everyone's got bills, everyone's got to live their lives, right? I get it. But why go on record and trash the movie that's about to come out? That could ruin your career in that same vein of doing that. Fair enough if the movie's been out for like a year or 2 years, and then fair enough if you want to go out and talk bad about it because it's past, right? You've got other projects at that time as well. You can do different stuff, but to slander it before it comes out, it's
why would you do
baffling. Baffling.
Yes. Your answer, I said this, I guess I'm repeating myself, but your answer should always be, I'm so honored to be in this role, and this is such a lovely classic. I'm so happy to be in this movie. That should be your answer, not this movie is outdated and it's about a stalker. That's not the answer. Right?
Yep.
Zegler just ruined her career. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a movie since, but uh, I don't know. Maybe she'll make a comeback someday, but we'll see.
She'll be back.
See, my number one worst movie is most likely a movie you haven't seen, but it's called
Oh no.
Desert Fiends. It's by a YouTuber called Cool Duder. Is that what I'm seeing?
So he did a few years ago, Amityville Karen, and
Oh, is that for? Oh,
I
yeah,
remember that. Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, nah, I'm not giving this guy any more of my time.
Someone says, "I love you guys. Have an amazing day." Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna end on our favorite movie. So we talk about
Nice.
what was all the movie. I saw 45 movies, so I didn't see that much. I know Mike probably sees like 200. I don't know what he sees, but
Mhm.
so all these movies that you had to go through, what was the movie that you enjoyed the most?
Yeah. So for me, we talked about it quite a bit a lot, so I won't like spend too much time on it. But Bring Her Back was my favorite.
I
Film
say it's
last
got to be
year.
Bring Her Back. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have Sally Hawkins on here, best horror. Like it just came up a lot, and I was just this is the one that I can't wait to own this. I hope they do like a really nice physical media release. Like I kind of want to just buy it on like 4K or Blu-ray, but I also kind of want to wait because I think in the future someone's going to do a really nice release of this and have all kinds of cool special features. I would love to see how they made it or interviews with Sally and the cast and stuff. So yeah, Bring Her Back for me was the one that had the best staying power all year, and for me is my favorite film from last year.
That makes
Nice.
sense. Makes total sense.
Nice. Great pick, though. Great pick, Noran.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Mike. I know your answer, but give me your number one movie.
Yeah, sure. So number one movie is called I Swear. It came out in the UK. It took to October 2025 for me to have a favorite movie of the year, guys. 10 months into
I
the year.
know. Yeah.
There was movies before then I was like, yeah, I like this movie, but nothing that like stuck as such. So yeah, this movie is based on a true story. Didn't really get an American release. I think it's on digital now, so you can probably catch it. But
Okay.
based on a true story about a young, so based in Scotland. True story about this young boy who is doing really well in school. He's a goalkeeper in football, but you guys call it soccer. And he's on the hunt basically to be scouted by a famous scout to maybe make it into
Okay.
a professional league. But during one of the matches, he starts to have like a symptom, and it turns out shortly after he gets Tourette's. And in this journey, you see this character struggle with this newfound condition. And then it skips to like him being a teenager and then going into adult years, struggling with Tourette's. And I think this movie was really important because it told a really powerful story about Tourette's. And I learned from that, what this kind of includes a little bit more, how it can affect one in daily life. It also didn't hold back in the movie's tone and themes and messages like some movies do, or they go maybe like a bit of a woke approach. It didn't do that at all. I feel like it was kind of like a gut punch movie. It like just told you straight, be like, right, this is what it is. This is how people suffer from it. But also it's just really nice, lighthearted. There is some moments which is emotional as well, and you will maybe shed a tear or two. But really, really strong movie. Can't really recommend it enough, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, this is it must be a very British film because it's not known here in America. As far as I know, I don't think it came out here that I'm aware of.
I think it's on digital now, so you might be able to like rent it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I can find it.
I don't mean to have a cinema release over there though.
Yeah. Well, the BAFTA nominations came out today, Mike. If I don't know if you're aware, that's the
No.
that's the British Academy Film Television Award, so it's your guys' award show. It's like your Oscars.
Okay.
And there's a British category, of course. What is the best British film? So I got good news and bad news for you, Mike.
Okay.
And I'm so happy with your picks because I get to say this. Good news is I Swear was nominated for Best British Film of the Year.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
Bad news, Die My Love also got nominated for Best British Movie of the Year.
That's wild.
So
My goodness, Jason.
this is such a. How is it your favorite and worst movie of the year? Both are considered the best British movie category. What is going on?
If Die My Love wins, I'm not watching another Jennifer Lawrence or Robert Pattinson movie ever again.
You can kiss
What's
the
going
Batman 2
on?
goodbye. You're all you can kiss Batman 2 goodbye.
I was watching
that would be the exception.
I was watching the BAFTA.
I'm shocked by that. Really shocked by that.
I'm watching the BAFTA nominations, and I'm like, what is going on with the British people or the Academy there that they put Die My Love in there with I Swear?
I mean, Elliot IMO Reviews checked out Die My Love and he hated the movie.
I had never.
Perez
I haven't
wasn't
heard
even huge
anybody.
in the movie either.
I don't think I've heard anybody give a good review on that movie. I
Didn't
can
hate
remember.
the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She hated
Like,
it. Well,
that's 4 people who's telling you this movie sucks.
but the British Academy Film Television people, they're like, this is one of the best British that has to offer. No, I was kidding. But, I mean, that's what. Anyways.
Maybe someone put it in for sympathy vote, I guess.
Anyway, I just thought that was funny when I saw that. I was like, oh man, I got to tell Mike about this.
Fair.
Uh, um, yeah. Well, I Swear got a lot of nominations though. They really liked it, the BAFTAs. It got so that's kind of cool because I've never heard of this movie except for you talking about it. I never heard of I Swear because it's not on my radar at all. But the BAFTAs really liked it. They gave it like several categories, so that's good for you, I guess. So
I think you'd really like it, Jason.
yeah, I need to check it out. The other movie I want to check out that did really well was the Ballad of Wallace Island, of course, another British movie that the BAFTAs really liked as well. So
yeah, not a bad movie either.
Yeah, so those are 2 British movies I need to check out, evidently. And Diamond Love is a British movie I do not need to check out, evidently. All right. All right. My favorite movie is The Materialist. What I went for best drama, best actress. Kind of like Norrin, I kind of kept with that theme there with Materialist, getting best actress and best drama. And I usually go for a movie that wins one of those categories every year. So this time it was drama was my favorite. And like I said, this movie took me totally by surprise. Movie was not on my radar at all. And it's just because it was an HBO Max. I was like, I'll check this movie out. And I didn't expect to like it, didn't expect to think anything. Didn't really know what it was about, which is so rare for me. I usually know like a lot about. I usually have all these movies I'm hyped up for, and I see reviews for. And I don't think I saw one review for The Materialist, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll check this out." You got Pedro Pascal in here. You got Chris Evans. You got a good cast. And man, this movie just. I couldn't believe how emotionally involved I got in the movie. I was just very emotional watching it, just going, "Oh my gosh, it's like they wrote this movie for me." It's one of those things where I'm like, you guys could watch it and you could maybe not feel that way, I guess. But so it's just a movie that really hit me and maybe nobody else as much as me. But that's the cool thing about movies, I guess. It hits people differently. And I'm just in the right time and place, I guess, for this movie to kind of talk about, dating and marriage and all that and what it means to be in love and all the pitfalls there, I guess. And I don't know, it was just so wonderfully written and acted and a great ending. It had a happy ending that was like left me encouraged at the end. I was like encouraging because it's a little bit cynical about love, and matching and all this. And, are they the right height number? Are they the right age? Or they have the right amount of money in their bank account. You think of all these things, but then it's just like sometimes you just love somebody. You love being around them, I guess. And you guys are married, and you get that. You just fall in love with somebody. It's not all about the numbers. It's just you love them. It's a feeling you get, I guess. And it comes that way at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, she does go with her feelings over other things. Anyway, so it's like a wonderful movie about love, I guess, and yeah, and the like I said, the bad and the good and all that comes with it, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was just a wonderfully written movie that really spoke to me. I don't know. So yeah, Materialist, a big surprise for me. Was not expecting this to be my number one at all, and I almost had a hard time putting number one because I was like, "Are people gonna make fun of me for putting number one? Or people be like, the Materialist? Are you crazy?"
Oh no, yeah, that's one
But
thing. Don't ever be afraid to tell. Like for real,
yeah,
like the fact that we're YouTubers and we're up here, like if to be honest, like the way I think about it is like if I cared with like some of these people out here actually thought I wouldn't be in front of this camera
right.
talking and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm glad I guess some people said they like it, so maybe I'm not alone on this, but it just felt like
Yeah.
no, it didn't get any Oscar love, didn't get, any award buzz. And it's sad because Celine Song has made two movies and they both made my top 10. So she's like two for two for me. Just amazing. And her last movie got nominated for Best Picture. So uh this one didn't do as well, but I like this even more in Past Lives. And I like Past Lives, but I thought this was even better. And so I hope she does more movies. And uh, again, this isn't my kind of movie. This is so weird. I usually don't like a movie that's it's just people talking. It's a lot of people sitting in rooms just talking about relationships. That's not my kind of movie. Yeah, I love it. I don't know. It's weird. Like normally I'd be like, oh, this is so boring. It's just people. But somehow, if you write, I guess it's such a good script that if you can write it well, you can get me involved, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't seem like my kind of movie, it somehow is. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I shouldn't like it, but I love it. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, movies hit people differently though. Like if you take all of our top number one picks, like mine was something that like really educated me, and like I thought, wow, this is really profound. Norman's was a pick that was really horror based, of course, but it was about
Yeah.
parenthood, and he's a parent himself, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
That's true.
Materialist for you, Jason, is a movie that spoke to you for a time you're going through currently in your life, right? So
Right.
like you don't have to just pick a movie to be like, hey, that's my favorite because everyone's going for this movie. Nah, you say what you think, right? So yeah, good on you.
Let's see. See, we still have a release date for I Swear, but Sony picked up the rights here, so I assume we'll get later in the year. Okay.
I hope
Nice.
so.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy is like you said, based on all our picks and just watching this when everybody who ever watches these awards back, you're gonna see how all our tastes are different, but also we love very similar films. Like we do like very similar films, but throughout the year, it's just so many different films that speak to us. Because, like Mike said, based on where we're at in our lives, where we came from, or like said, me being a parent, that's a huge thing for me. So to see Sally Hawkins' character, and even though she's an evil antagonistic character in this film, the fact that she's a parent and she's dealing with grief and loss, I could understand that part of it.
Cool. J Law is such a hottie. I guess that's what time I love. Maybe the British really like the British. Do they just really like Jennifer Lawrence? I don't know.
I mean, I can't disagree.
Well, looking at your movies, I realize I've seen out of all the categories, I've seen one movie that Robert put on his list, which was Predator Badlands. So that's the only movie I saw out of his list. Mike, I saw 5 of your movies, so I know some of your movies a little bit better. But the three of us didn't agree on one category, which I expected. It's funny. I think we've only agreed one time, and that was like Best Action Movie a couple years ago.
I think so. I think we did. Was it Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible
when it came out? Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah.
All 3 of us picked Mission Impossible for Best Action Movie, and that was the only time I think we agreed on a movie, which is kind of funny. besides that, we've all been picking different movies, I think, every time. So,
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to just tune
but
into 2027 Old Millennial Awards and see if we agree.
yeah, it's another year. I haven't seen any movies this year so far. Definitely a lot of movies I'm anticipating. But
Mm.
it's funny, I made my top 10 most anticipated movies last year, and I feel like none of them they're almost all disappointed me. Like I go through them, like Jurassic Park Rebirth was kind of disappointing. Uh I don't know. It was just a bunch of movies I was like excited for, and I watched it. I was like, wow. The only movie that really did well for me, I think, is Utopia 2. I really was excited for that, and that was good. That made my list. But so it's funny, the movies that I didn't expect to be in my top 10 are kind of the ones that I mean, the ones I weren't anticipating are the ones that kind of made my top 10. So you can't guess what movie you're gonna like, I guess, for me anyways. It's I don't till I watch them. I don't know. So it's hard to make an anticipate. I didn't make a list for this year because I'm like, what's the point? I'm gonna make a top 10 most anticipated movies, and they're all gonna disappoint me. So what's the point? uh, that's my feelings. Do y'all have a goal? How many new movies you want to see this year? I'm gonna try for 200 this year. I was like 183, 221 the year before.
Nice.
Nah, I don't have a. Just to answer the question quickly. Nah, I don't have a goal. I think it's tough because we all work, right? Like, so I'm sure we would all
Yeah,
love to. I'm sure we would all love to be like 200 movies. Let's watch that this year. But realistically, we've all got stuff going on. We've maybe got like trips away, holidays, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
no, right. I'm gonna try to see as many as I can. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah. My only goal that I set for me was that I want to, for this year, I want to try to hit over 100 if I can, for sure.
wow.
And then whatever I wanted to do, like just my top horror movies, but like I usually do a top 10. But this year I wanted to try to just rank all of them in like one big live stream. So we'll see if that works out. But yeah, I want to try to hit like 100. That's just my goal, a nice simple one. I think that I can do because, like Mike said, based on having the kids and vacations and stuff and working, 40 plus hours a week, that yeah, it's kind of hard to squeeze in movies sometimes.
Yeah, well, see, 2 years ago, whatever, I hit 50 movies, and I thought that was a pretty good round number.
Mhm.
Last year, I only hit 45. I tried to get to 50, but couldn't quite get there. I don't know why. Sometimes it's just hard to get to sit through a whole movie for me because I also love watching YouTube videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch basketball, I watch football. It's like it's hard to fit all these movies in for me. There's TV shows
Wrestling, I
on.
watch a lot of wrestling, so
Well, I watch
AEW that
I
takes up
watch
time. Yeah.
wrestling. That's true. I watch wrestling as well. Yeah, so there's so many things I want to fit in. Movies sometimes get it's hard to because movies it's 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours. It's like that's a long time. Stranger Things was like 2 hours. The final like that was a lot to get through. Stranger Things this last season because they're long episodes and it's like gosh. But yeah. So I'd love to get to 50. But I'm not counting movies that are on like Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. I'm only counting movies that came out in theaters near me, I guess is what I'm saying. Uh I don't know. That's kind of my choice to make this last year. It's like I don't really want it to count these streaming movies just because I don't know, they're not readily available as a movie that comes out in your theater, I guess, and you can buy on Blu-ray or something. And like I saw Happy Gilmore too, but I didn't count it in my list of of movies I saw. I guess if I did that, if I counted streaming movies, I'm sure I'd have a lot more on my list. Totally get it. I think it's just easy since I have a theater right outside of my office building. I just go to the 4 p.m. showings. Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah,
that
it's a
is
plus.
fun.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, like the closest theater to me is probably like 15 minutes driving. Like if I walked it, it'd be like, like almost an hour.
Yeah, same.
Same for me. It's about 15, 20-minute drive, yeah, to the theater. But yeah, and some days it's like I have something going on and I just don't want to go to the movie theater because it's like I have a lot of times I'll have live streams on my days off. Like
Yeah.
that's the best time to do a live stream. So then I'll end up doing a live stream like this. And then it's like I could go to a movie after this, but I don't feel like going out. I just feel like staying home. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, I just want to rest and chill out on my day off. But besides that, thank you so much to Sin and Ryan for commenting. You guys did such a great job. I appreciate that so much. You guys watching this and giving your thoughts on these movies and just kind of recapitulate the last year, and we can look on to the new year, I guess. And this is the last I'll probably talk about the last year in movies until the Oscars, of course. I'll talk about what's going on there and all that. So it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think who else commented. Those are the two I can think of. My sister commented a little bit, but mostly Sin and Ryan, I think, were the commenters. But besides that, thank you so much to. I keep thinking I keep calling you Norn. I don't know if I should call you Norn or Robert. I keep going back and forth, but
I don't mind. Yeah, to be
uh,
honest, I don't mind. There's just some people that they just know me by Norn, and that's what they call me. And then there's a whole section of people that know me by Robert, so it doesn't bother me. Dad is another
so
popular name. People call me Dad. You
Dad, there's Dad. Uh, so, but
Brilliant.
thanks so much to Robert and Mike. Definitely check out Rad, women, Norn Rad 89.
know? Did you see
Robert's
that? All the
channel.
links down below and everything.
Great
Definitely.
channel, especially if you like horror movies. Uh, and then Mike for Did You See That? Another great channel. Man, doing movie reviews every day. It's like a new movie review. I just can't believe I can't catch up with all these movies either. You just dropped one today, I think.
Yeah, I just went to see Mercy, the new Chris Pratt
Mercy.
Ferguson
That's
movie.
it. The two movies I've been hearing about is Silent Hill 2 and Mercy, and they've been just terrible reviews. Like it's like these might make the Old Millennial Awards next year. The worst movies of the year. But anyways, you guys are such great friends, and I'm so thankful for you guys coming on and doing this with me. I have so much fun
Yeah, you're
talking about
welcome.
movies.
Thank
So
you for having us.
yeah, so
Thank you.
appreciate that. I guess till next year, we'll see you again, and thank you everybody. Hope everybody has a good winter and is keeping safe out there.